All right, so we have our grammar vocab section open in our notebooks. Today we are talking about commas and direct address. How many of you have heard the term direct address before? Okay, it's been a while. That's okay. So, direct address, you guys, when you hear that, it's like someone is being addressed. Someone is talking to someone else. Does that make sense? Okay, so like in a piece of writing, when two characters are talking to each other and they say the other person's name while they're speaking, they are addressing them. They are talking to them, okay? So that is what direct address means. So commas plus direct address. We use commas to separate words used in direct address or when someone is being spoken to. So go ahead and get that definition down. So we use commas to separate words used in direct address. And when I say used in direct address, that means when someone is being spoken to. So I'm sure most of you in the books that you got from the library this morning, you're going to come across characters speaking to each other. And when that happens, when they're using their name in that sentence, you'll notice there will be commas around the name. And that's what we are practicing today, is using commas around names when they are appearing in writing, when people are speaking to each other. Put a thumbs up when you have everything down, because I haven't even added the commas here yet for our examples. So you can go ahead and jot everything down. So once you have the definition down, then we have 3 example sentences we'll be placing the commas in. So the first one, Greg, did you know I like pasta? The second one, did you know, Addie, that it's raining? The third one, I love to read, Cynthia. So put a thumbs up when you've got all of those done. I'm going to move this for our virtual learners so they can see exactly what it is we are writing, kind of. There we go. So we are adding a 4th example that you might see on your homework for tonight. And that 4th example is, yes, I did play soccer. So make sure you're adding that 4th example as well. Okay, I know some of you may still be writing. That's okay. We're going to look at our 4 examples here. So, like I was saying, we use commas to separate words used in direct address or when someone is being spoken to. So, the most common time we use this is when a name is in the sentence. So, our first example, Greg, did you know I like pasta? How many of you see the name in this sentence? Raise your hand. How many of you see the name in this sentence? Okay, on the count of 3, you're going to say the name. 1, 2, 3.
Greg.
Greg, where do you think I would put the comma or commas for this one? Raise your hand if you think you know. Where would I put it? Where would I put it, Chanel?
You put one in front of the name and one after.
So, I'm glad you said that. Since we're starting off our sentence with Greg, we actually would not put a comma in front, but we would put a comma after. So let's place that comma.
Then don't you put one?
Don't worry, we're getting to it. All right, so when we have a sentence with the name at the beginning, we do not put a comma in front of it, just after. And if you listen, guys, listen to where I naturally pause. Greg, did you know I like pasta? Did I pause after Greg?
Mm-hmm.
And usually we do pause. So commas are those natural pauses in our speech. Now let's look at this one. Did you know, Addie, that it's raining? Raise your hand if you think you know where the commas go in our second sentence. Whisper to the person next to you. Where are they going to go? If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. How many of you think a comma needs to go before Addie? Okay, you are correct. Is that it?
No.
No, I also need a comma where, Layla?
After Addie.
After Addie. And if you notice when I say it, did you know, Addie, that it's raining? I pause before and after Addie's name. All right, the third one, I want you to do on your own. Where do you think we would put a comma or commas for the third one? When you place the comma in your notebook, put a thumbs up. so I know you're ready. Addie, do you have a question? Okay. Yep, put a thumbs up when you think you know where that comma is going to go in our third example. Yeah, dude. So then go on to the back. Yes. Good question. Okay. How many of you think we are using more than one comma for number 3? Okay, we're only using one. How many of you think the comma goes before Cynthia? How many of you think the comma goes after Cynthia? Okay, so just like in number 1, when we start a sentence with the name, the comma will go after. If we end with a name, we only have a comma before. Because you can't end a sentence with a comma. I love to read Cynthia, so we would have a comma before Cynthia. Yeah, depending on how you say it can show your mood. All right, now we have a different example for number 4. Do we have a name in number 4? No, but we have a word. When we see something like, does anyone think they know what the word is? Raise your hand if you think you know what word we're going to have to separate with commas. What word do you think, Philip?
I or soccer.
It's not I and it's not soccer. You were close with one of them. What do we think, Max?
It's did and play.
It is not did or play. There's only one left. On the count of 3, say the word. 1, 2, 3.
Yes!
When you have a sentence that has yes or no, we also separate it with commas. So yes, comma, I did play soccer. If this said no, then it'd be no, comma, I did not play soccer. So, moral of our story today. When we have a name in a sentence, when someone's being spoken to in writing, we separate that name with commas. Or if we're saying yes, I did something, or no, I did not do something, we separate the yes or the no also with commas. Capiche? Okay.